From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Mexico City Diablos. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They'll run with Foreman. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
All right, here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. He'll look to throw. The catch made by Miller. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Lamar Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. As we start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. But that's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. Underneath for Miller. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he stopped immediately there. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
3-19. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40. 20, 10, and he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Lee's got it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down the kick other than the extra point. That's it.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff to Miller. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now let's go.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Gone, 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 gone. Hot. Gone, 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 gone. Detroit, Detroit. Hot.
They'll look to throw here. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Lee. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Fournette, a first down carry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. play fake. He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Fournette, and he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll drop to throw. He may try and run for this. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Escaping the pressure right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football. So he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Gone!
Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Blue 90!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Gone!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Gone! Detroit!
Here's a give to Miller. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They go power. This is Johnson, the fullback. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Over the middle, complete. It's Lee. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The offense on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Again, it's Fournette. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he finds Safarian-Jenkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Looking long for Westbrook. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They begin with a run by Miller. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
They'll set up to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lee. A good pickup there of 22. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll run it again with Miller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Detroit!
This is Miller. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll look to throw. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll look to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Tyler. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Again, it's Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll run with Miller. Quick move by Miller. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down. And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they got to be happy.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Miller. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Justin Reed. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.